Hello, Jay.
What's up?
Happy
Happy early Thanksgiving.
You too, man. Before the we went live, we were talking about who's going to be at whose house. So your in-laws are going to be at your house.
Yeah, so I have my mother-in-law come in with her fiance.
Yeah.
I'm
listening.
They've been engaged for 17 years. So
Your mother-in-law has a fiance?
yeah. Yeah, I guess they've been together forever, and she's already divorced once or twice. He's divorced, and they just don't want to get married again. So they're just engaged for the sake of being engaged.
Don't ever fucking don't ever make fun of my family again. Your family's fucked up.
Well, dude, that's not even my side. So yeah, that's just my wife's side, and her father's coming, and he's coming by himself, and we have another couple, older couple that's friends with us, and my daughter's boyfriend stopping by for a little bit.
Oh, well, that's nice. My in-laws are coming over tomorrow for Thanksgiving.
All right, and how's that?
Yeah,
getting ready. Is that a dart? Yeah, you might as well get it out of the way now. Better than everybody.
Yep. That's how much fun we're gonna have tomorrow.
The things we do for the holidays.
There's a question I wanted to ask you, actually. I wanted to ask you, who do you consider your best friend? No pressure. No pressure.
Dude, there's no other. There's no other.
All right. Right. Thank you. All right. Good.
No pressure.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So last week when we did Anabolic Academy, I was out of it. I did overtime, and then I came straight home, and I did the show with you when my head was in the clouds. I don't even remember the fucking episode, right? And then today I didn't do overtime, so I came home, nice, relaxed a little bit, went to the gym, So today I'm pretty good, but I want to tell everybody this show. Anabolic Academy is brought to you by I Prevail Sups, the greatest supplement company on planet Earth.
On planet Earth.
On planet Earth, there is no other better supplement company, unless you want protein, because for some fucking reason, he doesn't make a goddamn protein.
It's not cost effective right now.
It's not. So go get your protein elsewhere. Everything else you get at I Prevail Subs. And the link is in the description, and there is a discount code SNS10. So
they can always use SNS10, but we're having a Black Friday, Cyber Monday, 25% off the site wide from now until Monday. Now until Monday.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. He has some really great products. Okay. My favorite is the sleep aid. That's my absolute favorite product. He has a new fiber product, so you could take big shits now. His amino acids are great. I had my nephew taking his amino acids while he's working out.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, it's great products. But today on Anabolic Academy, and I got this idea because somebody was asking me about Clenbuterol and T3 at work. So I was like, oh, that's a great topic for Anabolic Academy. So I decided we were going to talk about T3 and Clenbuterol, what they are, how to use it, should we use it in combination, so on and so forth. Which one do you want to start with, T3 or Clenbuterol?
Well, to be honest, we could hit on T3 and T4 because that's what's more utilized, in the bodybuilding competition scene.
Okay, so let's utilize. Samsung. Let's talk about T3 and T4. Okay,
right. I mean, Clenbuterol is utilized also, but it's not just T3; it's T4 that people are using.
All right. I'm going. Let me start, and then you tell me if I'm accurate or not. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna do both, obviously, T3 and Clenbuterol, but T3 goes along with you. Now, we're talking specifically about the actual drug T3 and T4. I was always under the impression that the best burning effects if you had to take T3 and T4 is to take T3 directly. T4 is the drug, from what I understand, is when they give people that have like thyroid cancer and they have to remove the thyroid. So that's one of the drugs that they use to help, kind of like take a place of your thyroid, right?
Right.
But I was under the impression that T3 is really what you want to take as far as fat burning.
Okay, so the T stands for your thyroid hormone. Okay. So you have a T4, T3, and you also have T2, which is in my fat burners. Okay.
Oh, very cool.
Right. So for T4 should only be given to people who have had thyroid cancer, thyroid removal.
Okay. So I was right.
No thyroid function whatsoever. Okay. The problem is, systematically for years, is doctors have prescribed T4 to people with hypothyroidism, and that's suppressed thyroid. So if you already have a suppressed thyroid, the best way to shut it down even further is to give you T4, because when your body gets T4, it just no longer produces T4, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then slowly your thyroid will start to shut down. You could take T3, and T3 really has to be abused for your natural thyroid production to be shut down.
Okay.
So if you are using it for competitions, you should, taper on and taper off of it. And I wouldn't recommend staying on it any longer than 6 weeks. Okay.
Okay.
So when your body releases T4, it breaks down into T3. Okay.
Right. So
if you're giving yourself T4, your thyroid has no way to convert it to T3 because it's already there. If you have no thyroid, that's why they give you T4. Okay.
Right.
But if you still have a thyroid, okay, and you're giving people T4, what happens is your body's never producing the T4 on its own.
Mm-hmm.
So it's already getting it from an outside source, from an exogenous source. So it starts to suppress until it shuts down. If you have a suppressed thyroid and you give yourself T3, sometimes your body will still produce the T4, break down into the T3. Now, if you give yourself a little boost of T3, sometimes it could help activate your thyroid levels.
Really? Okay.
It could aid in people with hypothyroidism. And again, they should cycle on and off this, but they won't be dependent on it for the rest of their lives. Like people who take T4,
right?
It's going to be like a type 1 diabetic. They're going to be on insulin for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, right.
If they put you on T4, they know you're going to be on this for the rest of your life. Okay. So the safer route would be the T3. And for athletes and people competing, I would not recommend utilizing or using T4. I would stick to T3 and just, like I said, cycle on, minimally. I wouldn't go above 50 micrograms a day. And then a good 2-week cycle off period, just so your body starts producing its normal amounts on its own. But T3 is the better route to go.
Okay. Hold on. What's up? Sure, you could order me Chinese food. Yes, you could order me the usual. Fuck it. Continue, sir.
Yeah. So that brings you to the T2s, which I have. They're metabolites of T3. So the T2s I use in my fat burners and my T2 rise. So when your body is breaking down T3, it converts to 2 different T2 metabolites. I have those 2 metabolites in my fat burners. That's what makes them really effective.
Ah, okay.
So the good thing about T2s is you can increase your thyroid levels, okay, without any type of suppression because they're metabolites.
Okay.
So you're not giving yourself T3, which still is harder to shut your thyroid down than T4. But taking T2, there's no shutdown at risk.
Okay. All right. Now, let's go into, let's say somebody is competing and they want to use T3 to burn body fat. How and how much should they use?
Well, like I said, I wouldn't go above 50 micrograms a day.
Okay.
I've used T3 before in the past.
Yeah.
I never went above 25 micrograms for about 3 weeks at a time, usually the last 3 weeks before a show. And then I would break them in half and do it every day for a few days, then go every other day.
Yeah, I was under the impression you could go from 25 micrograms and then level up after a couple of weeks, maybe to 50, and then that would be about it.
Yeah, I mean, I hear people doing a lot more than that, and it's just ridiculous. There's no need for it.
Yeah, no, you know, that's another thing that I'd like, you know, if you need more than that, honestly, you're doing something wrong.
Right.
You know, you're either not doing, you know, either you're lazy and you're not doing enough cardio and you think the drug, you rely on the drug.
Your diet's probably off.
Yeah. Or your diet's off. Something's wrong because, you know, these drugs that we talk about, it's not supposed to be, when you're using them for a contest, you're not supposed to be relying on them. It should be just a help. Right. And I remember the best analogy I ever heard about performance enhancement drugs was from this female bodybuilder. Her name was Cassie. I don't know if you remember her. She was from Staten Island, big girl. She was a bodybuilder, female bodybuilder, huge. She was a nice person. She said performance enhancement drugs should be like makeup, just a little bit, not too much, you know. And if you're really kind of going overboard with these drugs, it's probably because you're doing something wrong. You're not doing enough cardio. Your diet's wrong, or you're just fucking lazy, you know. And that's the God's honest truth. So. Yeah. I always preferred T3. We're gonna move into Clenbuterol. Now, personally, I always preferred T3 from Clenbuterol because I was always very sensitive to Clenbuterol, you know, especially the first, you know, couple of weeks. And I know they say that the majority of side effects only last the first couple of weeks, but I really couldn't get past it. Even if I took 20 micrograms, I would be very sensitive to it. But let's move into Clenbuterol and what it is and how it works. So, Gad, you could jump in.
So, Clenbuterol is it's in the albuterol family, right? So, increases bronchial dilation. It's a bronchodilator. And what it does is it has a stimulant effect to it. So it does increase your heart rate. It does target. It is anabolic in the sense where it increases your heart rate and does help your body burn more visceral body fat than protein tissue. So it has a way of targeting protein fat, you know, when the uptake is going up in increased dosages. You definitely have to taper onto this because it, like I said, it does have a stimulant effect. It will increase your heart rate. You shouldn't take it late at night. It'll disrupt your sleeping. But dude, I like Clenbuterol for contest prep. I was a big believer in Clenbuterol. I think I would begin Clenbuterol. Most of my cutting agents, I wouldn't start until about 6 weeks before a show. But dude, I used to take a decent amount of Clenbuterol. But the thing is, it's like anything else. Sometimes you get dose dependent, where you could take 40 to 60 micrograms, and after taking it for a couple of weeks, you just don't feel it anymore. So you increase it to 80 or 120. Yeah, you know, and so on. You know, so it all depends.
So let me just say that as far as I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, as far as I know, as far as an independent fat burning drug, Clenbuterol is probably the best.
Yeah.
It was originally an asthma drug, right? It was originally created as an asthma drug.
Yeah, bronchial dilator. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If you take too much, from what I understand, it actually can lower your blood pressure. Is that right?
No, it'll increase your blood pressure. It has a stimulant effect.
I thought no. I was under the impression that it lowered your blood pressure, and then the stimulant, the heart palpitations came from your heart actually working overtime because your blood pressure dropped too much.
Oh, well, dude, that could be, you could be giving me information on that. Let me look that up.
Wow. I got you on one.
Possibly, right?
I'm pretty sure that's the case.
So you thought it lowered your heart rate or lowered your blood pressure?
Blood pressure.
Oh.
And then your heart rate actually increased because your blood pressure was.
That's what I said, increases your heart rate. So it could lower your blood pressure.
And the only reason I knew this is because, everybody wants to know about fat burning.
Okay, so here it is. In a complex effect on blood pressure, it'll initially decrease your blood pressure, followed by hypertension, high blood pressure.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Especially with continued use or increased dosages. Yeah. So it does. So that's what it does, because the vascular, it causes the blood vessels to widen, vasodilation. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's like taking something nitrous oxide. Blood flow is better. It could slowly decrease your heart rate, but then after time, it starts to increase because you have an increased heart rate.
Yeah. The only reason I know a little bit more about Clenbuterol is because everybody wants to take something to lose weight, and they always ask me whether it's at the gym or at work or even family, and I always tell them that's probably the best you're going to use, but here are the side effects. And every time without fail, headache. Yeah. I mean, just a fucking pounding headache. And it's not like that type of headache where you can take.
That's from your pressure going up, but also from long-term use of Clenbuterol, dude, it can do heart damage.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Right. Well, we're discussing these drugs like, pre-contest. Right. So you don't want to stay on them for long periods of time. This is, 6 weeks, 8 weeks before a contest at most.
Well, again, and you're suggesting that people are doing them responsibly.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
not anymore.
No, it's the God's honest truth. So the side effect, I always hated Clenbuterol with a fucking passion, because for some reason, even on 20 micrograms, I would get headaches. I would get the shakes, like a little bit of shakes and a little bit of anxiety. If I took it after 12 o'clock, I would have trouble sleeping. I always hated it, and I would avoid it like the plague. And I remember the last contest I did in the one I did in Brooklyn, I just didn't take it at all. I tried it for like two. I hated taking those side effects. And like I said, even if I took 20 micro, the majority of the people can deal. For some reason, it doesn't affect them. I don't know why, but some drugs you're just sensitive to, some you aren't. And it's the only way you're going to find out is if you try it. But the other, and tell me if you heard this too. The other, and I understand this is also just just basically, I don't know, a fairy tale. The 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off thing.
Yeah, so there's theories that suggest that your body stops responding to it after 2 weeks, so you want to cycle it. It's not 2 weeks; it's after 2 weeks. You should go 2 days on, 2 days off.
Right.
To be honest, dude, I never noticed that. Yeah. I never followed that protocol. I would take it daily for the 6 weeks that I would do it, and I thought it worked tremendously.
Yeah, I'm in the same. I agree with you 100%. It was 20 micrograms for 2 weeks, and the first 2 weeks you feel the side effects, and the majority of the time the side effects subside unless you're abusing it, and then you would go up to like maybe 40 micrograms after 2 weeks, but it doesn't stop working. Like people think it stops working after 2 weeks. It doesn't stop working. From what I understand, the side effects drop off, and it might not work as sufficiently as it did the first 2 weeks, but it's still working.
So it's like caffeine. Okay. So, you have 200 milligrams of caffeine, strong cup of coffee or a pre-workout with 200 milligrams. The first time you do it,
right,
you're going to get an increased heart rate. You do that every day. After a couple of weeks, you're not feeling that rush anymore. It doesn't mean it's not doing its job, just like you said.
Right.
It's still having its albuterol effects, right. And asthma relieving, effects. So people would take more because, hey, I want more of the effect. I don't feel like it's working, so they think it's not working.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then people listen to the assholes in the gym, and they say 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, or 2 days on, 2 days off, that kind of thing. Now, a lot of people, you can use this together. You can use T3 and Clenbuterol together, and it probably works best together for pre-contest drugs, right?
Right.
So do they work off each other, or is it basically just doing two different things at the same time and it benefits each other?
Yeah, so they complement each other, right?
Okay.
You have one that's a beta agonist, your clenbuterol, and you have one that's a thyroid hormone, which is an anabolic hormone. They both target fat loss in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them can be considered anabolic, where T3 or T4, if you're taking too much of it and you're not eating, it could break down protein tissue. But for bodybuilders utilizing it for competitions, for the most part, it's going to be an anabolic drug. And it is an anabolic hormone because it also helps your body metabolize protein, carbohydrates, and fats more efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
Help your body assimilate those nutrients, those macronutrients more efficiently, where clenbuterol attacks it more of like a vasodilation target fat loss because of the increased heart rate effect, which makes it feel like you're just doing cardio all day long, per se. But they both definitely complement each other, and then they do work well in competition diets. But again, do not take them for more than 6 weeks at a time.
Would you ever recommend that people that aren't competing and want to lose weight, would you ever recommend this, either T3, Clenbuterol, or both?
It's hard to say, dude. I'm in a different place, and maybe years ago, I might have said something differently, but where I am now, like, I'm more health related now, where if I don't even like I got to get the neck surgery. I'm going through pain. Like, I don't want to take Motrin if I don't have to.
Right.
If you can avoid taking any drug, avoid it. But it seems like now that's not the common approach. People want a faster way. They want an easier route. They don't want to really take the uphill steps that it takes to do this effectively. It's why so many people are on Ozempic, because it's a quick solution, and people who have issues, with discipline, and don't get me wrong, there are people that need it,
right?
But dude, everybody's on it. It seems like
it's insane.
It's insane. Everybody's on these drugs, dude, and now they're getting sued for like $2 billion because they didn't disclose all the side effects.
People
are sheep. What I've been talking about for 8 months.
People are sheep, to be honest. Yeah, we've talked about it forever. People are sheep, to be honest with you, man. They really just jump on the new favorite trend, and they don't really care. It's just, well, so and so is using it, so I'm going to use it. So it's the trend. And to me, that is such a, I hate to say it, man, but to me, that's such a sign of low IQ. You have no critical thinking skills. You're just going to jump on something. And the worst part is there are people, I'm gonna specifically girls, that don't need to lose weight, and they still fucking jump on it because everybody's using it. It fucking drives me crazy.
Like, so I saw a post. I thought it was funny, and it's not particularly politically correct, but it was a comment that a guy said, and it says, "How come every girl identifies they have a weight problem except the overweight girls?"
Yeah.
Every girl thinks she has a weight problem except the overweight girls,
Yeah.
But, so, and the peptides too, like everybody's jumping on these GLP-1, GIP, and glucagon peptides in contest mode, and
yeah.
What people have to realize is, of course, maybe some of them might be better than others, right? But the GLP-1 agonists, like the Ozempic right now and Mounjaro, these are the ones where people are having side effects that were being listed, like blindness, and suppression of thyroid and hair loss, and the skin disorders. And what bodybuilders have to realize is when they're using these retatrutides type GLP-1, GIP, and glucagon agonists, is what do you think happens when your body fat is low enough? What is this drug or peptide going to target? Because it's got to burn something for energy.
Right.
And if you no longer, your body is only going to burn body fat to a certain point where it deems itself unhealthy or I'm in survival mode. And what's happening is the nerve endings in their eyes are drying out because there's no more fat to burn. It's got to burn something. So it's burning them up internally.
Right.
So, and bodybuilders are using this who were getting lean anyway.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating to me how, we talked about it before, that all these guys do that aren't sheep, that, they won't take, they won't take a vaccine.
No, it's true. I don't take the flu shot. Really?
Well, I don't either. Don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-vax. I'm pro-vaccine.
No, but I understand. Yeah, no, yeah. I get it. I know people like this. Yeah.
Yeah. They won't take any because they don't trust the science. There's no science in these fucking
zero.
things.
Yeah. No, it's unbelievable.
Because their bro hero mentioned it on Instagram. They're fucking jumping all over. I don't get the logic,
No, there is no logic. Like I said, there is no. Humans are destined to be extinct. That's the truth. It really is.
We have this great survival mode, right? We have this great survival mode, except when common sense gets in the way.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And don't get me wrong. I've done stupid things, but I was never the type of person to jump right on the fat burning trend. And it could be, some of them are as stupid as those plastic. Remember those plastic saran wrap things that the girls were wrapping around their stomach like 10 years ago?
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's jump into, because we have some time and we're talking about fat burning, let's jump into the most dangerous fat burner of all time.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Because we talked about this when we first started.
That was the Ozempic of like 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah. But we talked about this when we first started the channel. And it was me, you, and Danny. Remember Danny? He passed away. Danny Broadhurst.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this, but you guys told me how it was
explosive.
Okay, go into it. What it is.
So you're talking about DNP, right?
Yeah, DNP. Yeah.
So DNP is found in dynamite. Yeah, you can't touch it because it'll stain your hands.
Yeah.
So it was like the Dan Duchaine era, maybe a little after him, in like I think some point in the 90s. My timeline could be off here a little bit. But it came about because these miners, they would looking for diamonds or coal mining, and they'd strap their carts with dynamite and go blow holes in these mines and start chipping away trying to dig coal,
right.
and they'd be in there for a couple of days and have their food and their water. And, after 6-7 days, they come out and they're all fucking shredded,
Yeah, and they were losing weight. Yeah.
They were losing weight, and it was from inhaling, the residue of the TNT they were blowing off, which was packed with DNP, So I don't know who thought it was a great idea. So they sourced it and started, utilizing it for fat burning effects.
Now it does burn fat, but it burns what else it does.
It burns your organs. It burns everything. It burns your intestines, so people, their insides were like melting, from overdosing on this shit.
Yeah. And it's flammable. Like it will catch fire. Like
it'll blow up.
Yeah. For some reason, it's not as trendy. The DNP is not as trendy. It started becoming trendy maybe like when we first started, when I started my other channel, maybe about 5 years ago, people were talking about it and started using it again and so on and so forth. And then it fell out of trend. And probably because everybody now is taking the Clenbuterol, listen to me, the semaglutide, the retatrutide, and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's that was another drug that people just jumped on the bandwagon, and it was very very dangerous. And I just, to me, I know everybody loves bodybuilding, but to me, it's not worth it. You know, putting yourself through this. And
but you have to realize, dude, like, you know, for decades, you know, people got in shape.
Yeah.
People competed, you know, with limited range of drug accessibility that people have now. And I'm just talking on an anabolic level. And then you add the T3 and the Clenbuterol into the factor.
Right.
When that came in, people were even getting more ripped. And it didn't need to get past that. But what changed was, even with the T3 and the Clenbuterol, you still had to bust your ass. It wasn't a miracle drug, you know? Right. So people started, you know, using the DNP because, hey, I could eat cake, you know, and it's going to melt it off me. I could do this, and right, it's going to melt it off me. And I think the difference is people just kept searching for an easier way, you know, and everybody's always looking, you know, for the easy way out. And that makes things, one, it makes them so much more difficult long-term.
Yeah.
It gives you a completely different look. It doesn't give you that hard-earned look, you know, that you want. And I think people don't realize that's the look the skeleton face, you know, the diet sucked in face, striations, you know, but that comes with, you know, 12 to 16 weeks, depending on what kind of shape you are when you start, you know, of fucking busting your butt to get there. And that I believe is what's lost.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but it's true. I was going to ask you something else, and I completely fucking lost my train of thought. I don't know
how to make it explosive. I can't get into that.
Yeah, really. Tell me about it. The majority of when you look at all these athletes and all the drugs that they take, bodybuilding is really, more times than not, more hazardous than good. It really is. You look healthy on stage, but
well, to be honest, you know, and I said this in a bunch of my interviews back when I was an amateur. I thought it was a healthy sport.
Yeah.
Well, no. Let me hear me out. Okay. I'm not, you know, rescinding on that. Because the lifestyle, you know, the discipline, the work ethic, and what you put into it, 9 times out of 10, you know, you're going to have a healthy lifestyle.
Right.
It's when you start to abuse things. And what I thought when it became unhealthy was really the last 2 weeks, you know, when you're looking to get, you know, up to that 2% body fat, like that's unhealthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're dehydrating the last couple of days before a show, that's unhealthy. When your electrolytes are completely out of balance, your heart rhythm could be off. That's unhealthy. You know, after show, when people go and gorge themselves and just eat this obnoxious amount of foods because they're craving it so much, and your system goes into shock because you haven't introduced these things in a timely rate. That is unhealthy. But the lifestyle itself, it's grueling. It's you know, it's singular. But I do think it is a healthy lifestyle. You know, I could think of much worse, you know.
Yeah.
But it's the last couple of weeks, and when you're taking things at an excessive rate, when it starts to get unhealthy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The lifestyle with the discipline and the structure, if used properly, will be a healthy lifestyle. It also, a lot of people can take that structure and that discipline and tunnel it in other ways, like yourself with your business and so on and so forth. And we've seen bodybuilders do that. Now, not every bodybuilder does it. Matter of fact, I think the majority of bodybuilders don't tunnel that discipline into something else. But the ones that can, like somebody like you, or you like Branch Warren, or Guy Sistanino, they become really Jay Cutler, they become really financially successful, right? Because that's what it takes to become that successful, that grind. And so if you utilize it properly, it could really help you in life, and period.
Yeah.
But, let's be real. Most people don't. Most people go into bodybuilding, they become obsessed. They become obsessed with bodybuilding. They waste time. They're not actually winning or making a career out of bodybuilding. It's very difficult to. It's very difficult to become an elite bodybuilder like you were at your peak. It's not easy. And they're chasing a dream. And that's the part of bodybuilding that, you just want to take somebody and it's like, wake up. It's not happening. You're fucking 40 years old already. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
move on. When I did your show in 2012, and I was competing in an NPC level, this is what I was using. Okay. I was using Tren, Test, Tyrannobol. That's what I was using. And at the time in 2012, I thought that was significant. And then I remember being backstage at your show and getting friendly with a couple of the guys and shooting the shit and blah, blah, blah. And this is back in 2012. And the majority of the guys backstage were using Growth. They were using Clenbuterol. They're using T3. And it's like, this is an NPC show.
Right.
What are you going to do if you move up to the nationals? Like, what?
Or what are you going to do if you never get past this level?
Right. Yeah. Right. You're
going to continue to take this shit like it. What it should be, is a stepping stone. Where if you could, and when I say natural, I'm using that term loosely. Okay, like if you could naturally win a regional show with limited, extracurricular supplementation.
Right.
You probably have a pretty good genetic, predisposition to take it a step further. Maybe go to a junior national show, see where you fare there. If you place well at that show, hey, now you could even take it a step further. If you're looking, hey, I'm doing well in the nationals, right? I'm making top 5. I'm getting first call out to nationals. Hey, I got something here. I got something here. You know what I mean? Now I could take it to a pro level. If you're looking, because look, let's be honest, there's not many professional sports that are healthy for you, right?
Well, yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, right.
If you're looking to do this for a living, hey, Luke Man's on here. What's up, Luke?
Yeah.
So if you're looking to do this for a living, any professional sport, and anything really that requires extreme sacrifice, even on a business level, it's going to involve some type of unhealthy lifestyle.
100%.
Whether you're out drinking, long nights, doing extracurricular shit, partying, taking out accounts, doing this, doing that, whatever, like there's always
even working 70, 80 hours a week isn't healthy.
Yeah, dude, it's not the stress. So if you want success and stardom, right? You could justify, all right, I'm gonna have these unhealthy years, right? But then at this point, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna take, which is what I've done. I'm gonna take care of myself the best that I can, hopefully clean up some of the damage that I know I'm doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And have a healthy lifestyle. But I don't think it's people chasing that dream to be a superstar athlete or to be successful. I think people are chasing the fame.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the likes and the follows and the, and that's completely different because there's really no end result with that. Yeah, you can get 1 million followers, but you're not going to retire from this. We're not going to have 8 million influencers out there. There's going to be a select handful that make a decent living doing this, and the rest of them are going to fall short. And in the process of falling short, what are you sacrificing to do that? That's where people have to really realize they're walking a fine line. And what side of it do you want to be on?
Question off topic, because I was actually going to call you and I totally forgot to call you. Completely off topic, and I think we talked about this a few years back. I've been thinking about having a booth at the New York Pro. How much does Steve charge to have a booth at the New York Pro?
I do not know.
I'll find out.
But I could see if he'll send me sponsor quotes and rates. I'll tell him I have somebody that might be interested.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I could.
Are you looking to do a sponsorship with logo on the stage, or just looking to do a booth?
I haven't really thought about it, to be honest with you.
Because the cheapest route, I think, is just a booth. But if you're looking for something more promotional wise to get on social media and the NPC website, obviously it's a little more costly.
Because I want to see if I'm trying. Again, this is just here, so I didn't even tell Lee about it. But I want to see if we could get, because Lee's going to be in the States in and around June. I forgot what else, what other time, whatever. His manager's got him going to a bunch of gyms doing seminars in the States once the spring comes, and so on and so forth. So I was wondering if I was hoping that maybe he can get a if he can get to a seminar somewhere in around a week or two away from the New York Pro
in the area,
yeah, and then be at the booth for the New York Pro, because I need to do something, because I know I have the best bodybuilding channel, but nobody else seems to understand that. And it's the best because it's fun.
Yeah. That other guy seems to be fighting with a lot of people right now.
What happened?
That other guy seems to be fighting with a lot of people right now.
I can't do that. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's again. I
can't do that. I know people love that shit. I can't do that, man. I really want to just have a channel. We talk about bodybuilding and we just have fun, even though the fun is fucking edgy and not politically correct. That's the whole idea of the channel, which is why I titled it Serious and Silliness. But I mean,
I like what we do. I like the educational part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I try to make it a one-stop shop, right?
Yeah. So people, at least they're learning, they can ask questions, they're experiencing, deciding somebody who's done it,
Right, exactly. So I have you, we do Anabolic Academy. Then I have some in the gym footage, which I actually got to do more of, to be honest with you. And then then we got I do the wrap-ups, and I got Lee, and we goof off, and I try to make it as fun as Luke joins us when we goof off on Muscle Talk. So I try to make it as fun and as educational as possible. But to just go out and start shit, like I don't follow Muscle Discord and Matt. I don't follow his channel. I don't watch it. Look him on Instagram. I just had enough of him. I can't deal with that shit. And him and Bob Ciccarello going at it again. I don't even know what the hell they're going at it again. I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous, and I'm just not into it. I mean, and I can't, if somebody takes a shot at me, I'll take a shot back. But just to,
right,
like he did a video on who Tyler Manning was dating. I'm like, who gives a shit?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just
you're going to badmouth the NPC and the IFBB right now, and that's and you want to get guys on your show. I don't know if that's the best angle to go on.
It's just to each his own. Do what you want, right? I don't care, right? He's got a following. Do what you want. Doesn't make a difference to me. I'm just not doing that. I'm just not doing that. All right, Jay. Thank you very much, brother. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, dude. Be safe.
We will, after the holidays, we'll definitely get together again.
Yeah, definitely. Be nice.
All right, bro. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bro. Be safe.
Later.